What's up YouTube land, Xeno Gaming here, and welcome back to episode number 23 of my F1 2021 My Team series. And it's been a couple of weeks since the last episode. Next race up is Monaco, and I had some issues with Monaco qualifying. My recording stopped, I think it was about lap 8 on the race, very early on, and so I lost the footage for qualifying, practice and all that, and I decided so I didn't lose the first 10 laps of the race, to restart my race, and so I could get footage. Don't think it was actually to my benefit to restart, because I was in a pretty decent spot. So, but it is what it is. I don't have any qualifying footage. We qualified in 16th here at Monaco. My team at Auckland just ahead 14th, but yeah, I don't even have pre-race stuff because I had to do a restart, and it is what it is. But we get a decent start off the line. We almost run into the back of Esteban, and then we go around the outside though of Lance Stroll at turn 1 to gain a spot into 15th. So yeah, it was a bit unfortunate with my recording. I've got to just do a better job making sure I can not lose that footage in the future. So yeah, that one is my fault, and I've been trying to recover it for a week, and it was impossible in the end. So it is what it is. Yeah, really just unfortunate situation. And then also just another, while we're on the first lap here, this is Monaco, nothing more is really going to happen on this first lap. We were able to get past Lundgaard, which was nice, but still, so my league races, I haven't uploaded a league race video because I haven't competed in a league race since the last one I did, which was, I can't remember, the last one might have been Sochi. Actually, it was a while ago. It was, yeah, Sochi. So, and that's been a month ago, and I just haven't been able to compete in the league races. We had the Grand Prix. I had the Grand Prix Sunday, which I wasn't able to do. Then we had Easter, which I was away, and then with the league racing had a break, and then I had a big night one night, and I couldn't do it on the Sunday. I fell asleep like an hour before the race, and then also yesterday I couldn't do it either because I had something on as well. I had to go watch the football, so yeah, it's been unfortunate with the timing on that. Sunday night's a difficult night sometimes for myself to get to a league race, but anyway, it is what it is. Now talking about the Monaco Grand Prix, you can see here we've moved up to 7th, but we're still behind Ocon in this train of cars, and now on lap 19, and you're still in the same spot, pretty much just behind Ocon. Can't really get past him here as he dives into the pits though here on lap 19, which gives me a bit of clean track through Vettel. Sonoda also pits, so we've got faster cars behind, but they can't pass me around this track. As I almost put it in the barrier there actually in turn 1. And that might give Verstappen a chance, but not really, because it is Monaco. As you know, we get to lap 27 and we caught Vettel. We caught him a couple of laps ago, but as it is in Monaco, you can't really pass. So yeah, it is what it is. Also, with this video, I've decided to do 2 races in one because I've only got the race for the Monaco Grand Prix. Monaco is not the most entertaining race, as we dive now into the pit lane, did the opposite to Sebastian Vettel, and we'll see if we can get an undercut on him. Yeah, so I need to also do the Azerbaijan Grand Prix in this video, because Monaco, as you can see, we're already on lap 27. Not much has happened. I haven't been able to overtake anybody, but now we have a tyre advantage over all those guys that pitted early in the race. Like so we'll see where we come out here. We've got Ocon goes by, Ricardo goes by. We've got Gasly on the outside, and we managed to stay just ahead of Pierre Gasly, which is important because it's one less car we could overtake now. And like, these guys have been on their tyres. Like, you know, Ocon pitted on lap 19, so he's been on a hard tyre for 9 laps. We're on a fresh soft here. We've got Ricardo. I don't know how long he's been on that medium compound tyre for, but yeah, they had a slight undercut on us, but nothing special here. We've got DRS now on Ricardo. He's also got DRS. Here comes Vettel though at the pit lane. You can see how much undercut we got on him, because we were a fair way behind him, and he's actually going to come out behind everybody and behind Norris in 13th in this queue. So we're currently sitting in 10th, so it's currently double points for the team with Ocon in 8th. And you can see here coming out of that particular corner. We have a lot of grip. And we're going to go down into the no-bell chicane, down the inside of Daniel Ricciardo, and we make it stick, which is really nice, really pleasing, really tough mover. It was very tight, and we're nice and late in the brakes there, and made that pass work. And we're going to do the same thing to Ocon here. We've got really good grip coming out of that corner through the tunnel, and now we're going to go into no-bell chicane again. This time we're later on the brakes. We skip over a little bit, just about stay on the track, which is fine. So we're now got Fernando Alonso ahead for 7th place, and yeah, look, just no room on the main straight. There's not really enough room to go to. Alonso covered off the inside. We can't really get around the outside there, and nowhere we can really go. But we come here into the hairpin, and this is where we've been strong compared to the AI. This little slow speed section, I think just the extra grip of the soft tyres giving us good traction, good mid corner speed as we come out of turn 8, Portier, and through the tunnel, and we get a good slipstream with overtake mode, and we're going to go late on the brakes here again on Fernando, and this one we just about managed to keep it on the track again, but we get the job done and move
good job, nice overtake.
Into 7th place, which is 6 points.
3 laps of fuel remaining.
And we've caught Tsunoda. We've been behind him for a lap already, and I think at this stage I've seen the best of my tyres. You say you're getting a massive amount of wheel spin. We get a good run here, but Tsunoda covers it off the inside. There's no way we can dive up the inside into turn 1.
The car behind is dropping back.
I wish there was a DRS zone coming on out of this corner here, out of Portier and through the tunnel, but obviously a bit dangerous in real life. In the game it would be fine, but yeah. You can see though we're just not as close to Tsunoda. I thought about having it go, but we almost ran up the back of him actually. And at this point I realised I'd used the best of my tyre. I was still quicker than him, but I didn't have that same grip coming out of turn 8 as I had to overtake previous cars, and wasn't quite getting the same exit and launch off the corner. But yeah, we just follow home Tsunoda, who's going to pick up a brilliant 6th place. Valtteri Bottas has won the Grand Prix, and we're going to come home for a brilliant 7th after starting 16th on the grid. We jumped a few cars by going long, and then we also were able to overtake in that second half of the race, which worked out to our advantage really well. So yeah, it was a really strong performance, and really happy with that one. 6 points is quite valuable for us at this stage of the season, considering where our car is. It's still not quite a points finishing car on pace. I thought it might be by this stage, but based on where we are on the graph, but it doesn't seem that we're able to get those points finishes out of the car just yet. But it's coming, I think it's coming. So anyway, good performance from the 2 Mercedes. They're quite clearly the quickest car, seeing by how much they've gapped the field by. Hamilton's actually 2-stopped and lost by 3.7 seconds, so not sure why he's done that when it was clearly a one-stop race, as Monaco always is. But you can see the gap that those two the Mercedes have to the rest of the field. But yeah, good result for us to pick up a 7th, and Ocon to pick up a 9th. I don't know if I'm right in saying this, but I believe that could be our first ever double points finish for Team Zeno. So yeah, good job there from Ocon, picking up valuable points for the team. It's 8 points. It's quite a good weekend for us. If I had been able to get Tsunoda, that would have been nice. But yeah, the 2 McLarens who are quicker than where they finished, definitely disappointing. Even Alpine with Lundgaard, and I mean Fernando was 8th. So yeah, really good race from Yuki Tsunoda to steal a 6th place there. And then you got the 2 Ferraris. Sergio Perez had a terrible race. I think he just got stuck pitting early, and wasn't able to use his pace in that Red Bull. But we're now on 21 points. That's Ocon's first points of the season, so 23 points as a whole. We're 3 points behind Alpine and 5 points behind Aston Martin. I think those, plus along with AlphaTauri, I think those are the 3 teams we're fighting for this year. And yeah, anyway, as we sim to the next race, we got a few upgrades here on the car.
Without issue. They'll be on the car, ready for the next race weekend.
So yeah, I believe a bit of front wing there should help at Baku. I mean, Baku, is actually 4 straights. We had, I think, a power unit upgrade in there as well, but I don't think it was for engine power. I think it was an ARS upgrade maybe. I can't really remember, to be honest. I recorded this about 2 weeks ago, at least a week and a half minimum. So, actually, well, from the Monaco, the Baku I only recorded a couple of days ago, but yeah, the Monaco one, that was all done from the Monaco video, that Baku stuff. So that was recorded a while ago, so I can't really remember. Anyway, not to worry, we're in qualifying here, and our first lap was at a 1 minute 40.4, and our second lap isn't much better at a 1 minute 40.1. So we don't have much pace, and we're going to now start here our final lap here in qualifying, and we get a decent turn 1 run. Lose a little bit on the exit, but that's fine. It's a short run to 2. We get a good run though through turn 2, and we pick up almost 2/10 coming out of turn 2. So we're currently in last as well, and the car's obviously a lot better than last. So I know I need to put in a much better lap here in Q1 as the session is coming to a close. We get a nice run through 3, a pretty good run through 4. We're picking up time all the time, and now into turn 5 and 6, decent through there, coming up to turn 7. This is a tricky corner, turn 7. You got to brake at about 75. You got to get the car turned in nice and early, pick up the power as you head into this castle section, turn 8. Such a tricky one. You don't want to hit the wall on the outside. We're keeping it in 4th gear here through down the 3rd now, and getting on the power as early as there. And now this is an exciting run to turn 15. I've always really enjoyed this section of the track. You gotta go late in the brakes, about 70-80 metres, hit that curb on the inside, run it right up to the wall. It's a really exciting corner. Then coming into 16 here, this is the most important corner on the track, because the exit is critical, because this is going to take you all the way down to turn 1 flat out through this left to right. In qualifying, this is not a challenge. In the wet it is. On old tyres it can be a challenge in the dry, but that's fine. You can see we've got 1.1 seconds improvement on this lap. Will it be enough for Q2? It's going to be a 1 minute 38.9 lap time. Unfortunately though, it's not good enough for Q2, which is disappointing. You can see the pace of the Mercedes are 36.8, so we're 3 seconds off that pace. Ocon though 2 seconds off that pace. Ocon though 1 second quicker than me, 37.9 from him. So I did bump the AI difficulty down for Baku. They've always been quick at Baku, and still I'm 1 second off my teammate in qualifying, and I'm only able to beat the Haas. So it is what it is. Baku's always been a strong track for the AI, and I hadn't played the game for a couple of weeks, so I'll maybe have a bit more time myself. But we sim to race day, and Lando Norris ends up putting it on pole by half a tenth over Valtteri Bottas. So what a lap by him. Ricciardo 3rd, out-qualifies Hamilton. Verstappen 5th, good qualifying for Gasly in 6th. Leclerc, Perez in 8th, not great for him. I don't know if he had a penalty or not. Alonso, Stroll is the 10. So our teammate Ocon there, down in 14th, it's not terrible. Russell in 15th, good qualifying for him. We have Sainz there in 20th. He's obviously taken a massive grid penalty. And then myself in 21st, and Mazepin on the back row. So also, I had quad a worn power unit. I don't know if you guys saw it on the qualifying lap. You see it through the race, the orange icon there. And I was doing the maths on it, and this with the 16 races, this is round 5. So I just wanted to get it through this Grand Prix, and then I would have a fresh power unit for Canada and the next 5 race block. So I'm obviously doing everything I can not to avoid grid penalties this season. I'll definitely have to take one on the energy store at some point. Yeah, so you can see it's orange there. I'm doing everything. It's got to get through this race and doesn't have to do another lap. Maybe some practice laps at Canada would be nice. But yeah, we'll sort that out when we do. But yeah, we're going to come to the grid now and see what we can do here at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. And we've got the 5 red lights coming on here. And let's go here in Baku, and we get a good start. We get past Carlos Sainz immediately, and alongside Mick Schumacher. We're going to look down the inside of Latifi and go down the inside of Giovinazzi. He doesn't give us much space, but we get past him there. And now we're on the inside here, followed by turn 2. Giovinazzi still on the outside. He actually hits us a little bit there. We go up the inside of Raikkonen, and Raikkonen leaves us space to take, and we take it. And we move ahead of the Finnish driver here, as we now head on the run to turn 3, and we go deep on the brakes here, and Raikkonen, I think he was looking down the inside, but we had that covered off, and we're now looking at the back of George Russell and then our teammate Esteban Ocon. So definitely hoping for a little bit more pace here in the race compared to qualifying. And we'll just see how this first few laps on the soft tyre unfolds. Our strategy is do soft to medium, almost having a look at Russell there into turn 7, but no way past. And definitely no way past here in the castle section. Not even going to think about going up the inside here against AI. Maybe against the player you could get away with it, not against the AI, because they're dumb enough to just hold it around the outside and crash into the barrier. So anyway, heading into 15 for the first time and seeing if we can get close enough. No, we're not close enough. We go late on the brakes and gain a little bit of lap time there compared to Russell, but we'll see how this race unfolds. We weren't super quickly qualifying, and with the worn engine, we'll see how difficult it is to overtake. Obviously with DRS, it should be fine, but we'll see. We might be a little bit down in power. We might struggle to defend in this Prix. You can see I'm having to use battery more than I wanted here on the straight because Raikkonen's quite close behind, but we are getting the same tow from Russell, but we're not quite close enough for a dive into turn 1 just yet. We now move to lap 3. I'm using overtake here. We're under 2 tenths. We're 2 tenths. We're closing. We've got a good slipstream on George, and there is wide open. He's got it wide open as well. We're going to look to the inside, but we're just not quite close enough. And yeah, it's going to be difficult to overtake while all these cars are in a DRS train. Here though, on lap 5, we get a good exit out of turn 16 as we flip through 17 and 18. I believe those ones are actually there, 18 and 19. But anyway, we've got a good run here again on Russell. We've got that same 2.5 tenth gap, and we've got a good tow here, and he hasn't quite got as good a slipstream as I do. He defends the inside here, does George Russell. We're going to go to the outside. We're going to go down the outside, late on the brakes, and go right around George Russell for a really nice overtake there. And that puts us into 9th place, chasing our teammate now. Yeah, as we all of a sudden in 9th place as well. A lot of cars diving in the pit lane, getting off this soft tyre. I think the AI are running a 2-stop strategy today. I'm just running the one. Here comes Ocon into the pit lane himself, along with a few other cars. So I think definitely
Esteban's in for his stop.
2-stop strategy for a lot of these drivers. So yeah, anyway, we've got Vettel and Lundgaard ahead. We'll try and catch those guys. Here we've got Lando though. Vettel pitted a lap later, I think, and Lundgaard's on the medium tyre. Lando passed us. He's already made his stop. He's leading the Grand Prix. Lando Norris. He's got quite a gap back to the Mercedes. Yeah, he puts in the fastest lap of the race as well. And at least for one straight, and now both the Mercedes beat his lap time, but at least for the run to turn 3, we're going to get pulled along a little bit with these DRS. And I'm trying to close up the gap here to Lundgaard. I don't get a great run through turn 2. But Lundgaard, it seems like we could be fighting with him this afternoon. He and I pit both here on lap 9. I'm going onto the medium compound tyre to go to the end of the race. I assumed Lundgaard was going to go onto a hard tyre here, but he puts on the medium compound tyre again. So he's going for a 2-stop strategy. So immediately I realised I'm no longer fighting with Lundgaard in this Grand Prix. So as long as there's no safety car late in the race, we come out here in 12th place. We're ahead of Ocon, so we've jumped in and Tsunoda. We've had a really good run there at the end of our soft tyre stint. Maybe these guys didn't fire up their mediums as nicely as they would have liked. So now we need to fire up the mediums and see if this, and just hang on to the pack. I think they're squabbling quite a bit ahead here for the final points here with Stroll and Lundgaard. I think Sainz is there as well, or that could even be Leclerc. I'm not sure. I assume it's Carlos. I'm not sure at this stage. And the goal is really to just hang with them, even hang in the DRS, especially if they're 2-stopping. And here on lap 11, we're halfway through this Grand Prix now. So this race is working out pretty well so far until right about this one here. We were starting to find our rhythm here on the medium compound tyre, and unfortunately the engine has given up. So yeah, it was worn. It wasn't like 80% worn though. It was in the 60s worn. So I thought it was going to be able to get through this Grand Prix. I was really fearing from the other cars here. Okay, that was a Ferrari with Sainz and Leclerc's the one here. But anyway, that doesn't matter. I thought one of these AI were going to crash into me, but they don't. Yeah, so it's not like the engine was like completely shot. It was in the 60s at the start of the race, so it couldn't get through the Grand Prix. It's a bit unfortunate that it failed. It is what it is, and we're out of the Grand Prix, and just like that. And Lando Norris manages to hold off both Mercedes to win this Grand Prix. Really impressive from Lando there. Congrats to him. And McLaren have really improved their car. They're probably the second quickest car on the grid at the minute. And then I think this performance from Norris shows that they're not too far off Mercedes. Mercedes dominated in Monaco, and McLaren didn't have a good weekend there. But Lando gets the win on merit here at Baku, 3 seconds over Lewis Hamilton. Bottas 9 seconds further back. Ricciardo in 4th, Verstappen in 5th. Then Alonso, Gasly, Perez, disappointing result in 8th. I think that's just the pace of him in that Red Bull combination at the minute. Ocon didn't even score points. He only finished 13th. So disappointing there. No points for us in Baku. Points at Monaco though. So unfortunate, and is what it is. So yeah, in the standings we're still sitting in 8th. Alonso scored valuable points though for Alpine, so I think we'll be a little bit further behind them. But anyway, it is what it is. Gonna bring in a major front wing end plate for drag reduction upgrade here. Hopefully we get that for Austria. Hopefully it doesn't fail. We won't have it for Canada. So yeah, that's one thing I'm working on. And also engine power. Remember last year we were like 3rd on the grid for engine power. This year we're the 2nd worst team in terms of the power unit. We've got quite a lot of engine power upgrades, but I'll make another one there, a major one. So hopefully that can boost us a little bit better on the straight. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry it's been a bit of a layoff. Hopefully should be some more videos. Obviously this one today, and then a couple, maybe one more this week, maybe 2. We'll see how it goes. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until then, I'll see you guys for the next race at the Canadian Grand Prix. Till then, goodbye.